We just have to keep going, and we're going to have an open convention. And, George, you're the guy that gets open conventions. It's going to be so much fun. Kids will spend less time focusing on Bieber and Kardashian and more time focusing on how we elect presidents. It'll be so cool.
Well, it'll be a civics lesson if it happens. John Kasich used those two words to describe a contested convention. The chances it will happen getting higher by the day. If frontrunner Donald Trump loses in Wisconsin tomorrow, the road to 1237 for him gets more difficult, but not impossible. Former New Hampshire Governor John Sununu, former Chief of Staff to President George H.W. Bush, and author of The Quiet Man. Governor, how are you on
Happy
this
Monday. How are you?
I'm fine. At the moment, what's the probability as you sit today about a contested convention in July? Where would you put it?
I think it's about 60–70%. But Bill, can I separate a little fact from fiction here on the rules? The rules are always written for that specific convention. And if you go a little bit past the famous 40B rule, a couple of rules down, it says that very explicitly. But let me remind folks, I chaired the Rules Committee last time. I was the chairman. It took 8.5 hours to put the rules together for that convention. And the reason it became a little bit complicated, and people are citing certain aspects of that rule, is that we had lost a day because of the hurricane. We had travel problems. People couldn't get there. So we had to cram the convention into 1 day less than had been anticipated. And in an effort to do that, things were put in the rule to streamline it so that we could keep, if you will, primetime coverage. A lot of the stuff in 40B was done to accommodate the specificity of the circumstances of that particular time.
So that was Tampa, that was Romney. 40B states that you to have your name entered into contention, into the nomination, you have to win at least 8 states. Now,
but the reason that was put in, Bill,
I understand that now, but I guess my question today would be then, this Rules Committee, when would they meet prior to Cleveland? How long would it last? And how many people are on that committee?
It would meet a little bit before the convention, probably a day before. It's up to the chairman. It is a committee that I believe has representation of 2 from each state, plus the territory, so it'd be about 108, 110. I'm not sure of the exact number. They will develop the rules, and then the rules go to the floor to be approved. And theoretically, the Trump and Cruz people will have a significant majority on the floor. So you're not going to pass rules that are anti-Trump, anti-Cruz. So let's, you know, folks have to stop letting this smoke screen create confusion. These rules are done to keep the process orderly.
That's very interesting. But when do they, you're just leading me down a road here. I've got a lot of questions about this. And when are the rules established? Does it happen the month prior, or does it all come together in what you described as an 8-day period prior to the convention?
No. The day before the opening of the main convention is when the delegates have arrived. They get 2 from each state and territory, and the committee sits down and passes the rules that will apply starting the next day, and they are presented to the floor of the convention as the very first act when the convention is opened.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 40 years since there's been a focus on it like this. So, I mean, basically 100 people fly to Cleveland, they get together by themselves, and they talk about it. Fascinating. I wonder if that will be televised. Maybe this is the year to do that.
Well, you should have done it last year when I chaired it.
Probably. You know, there was another thing we wanted to talk about today. This is a big turn here. But Bernie Sanders is wiping the floor on Hillary Clinton. Has he won 5 of the last 6 contests? And who knows what happens tomorrow in Wisconsin? What do you think of that contest that does not nearly get the coverage and attention that the Republicans are getting?
Well, look, it's getting tight. Mrs. Clinton is getting nervous. It is the reason the Republicans want to make sure they nominate somebody that will attract significant support so they can beat what they think is a damaged candidacy.
Yeah. Less Bieber, more Kasich. I think that's what we heard the governor from Ohio say. I don't know. It would be a heck of a summer if it happens. But you have a prediction?
It's going to be fun.
Do you have a prediction on Wisconsin? And if so, where are we on Wednesday? Quickly, Gov.
I think Wisconsin is going to go for Cruz. I think it'll go perhaps a little bit more than the average of 6% that you flashed. Differential that you flashed earlier today. And I think there will be a lot of soul searching amongst Republicans. I think Republican women are beginning to move away from this Trump phenomena, and I think as that sinks in, a lot of other folks will begin to pay attention and say, you know, we can't have a candidate that 2/3 of America does not want.
Yeah, we'll see if it's fundamentally different on Wednesday. I thought you were going to go higher than 60 or 70% of the probability of a contested convention. I thought you were like 95, 99. Let's check in the week,
Well, I'll tell you what
okay?
it depends on. It depends
Quickly.
on Pennsylvania.
Okay, all right, a couple weeks away. We will talk before then, Gov. Thank you for your time. John
Thank you, Bill.
Sununu there.